Hey everybody, this is Tim. Welcome back to a new episode of the Boone County Beekeeper. Now today is Saturday. It is January the 28th. Oh, it's about 2 o'clock in the day. It's a beautiful day, about 54, 55 degrees. As you can see, the sun's shining. And what I want to do today, I worry about these girls. You know, if you think back the last time I got in them was October, middle of October. If you watched that video, you remember we went into the winter with good strong colonies. The mite counts was super low. They had all been treated with apivar and oxalic acid. The bees looked really healthy. If you remember, we combined this hive right here with Blondie. So they went in pretty strong, and everything looks good. So I didn't know what kind of winter we would have. And to be honest, we've not had much of a winter. We've had that one polar vortex was really cold, it's single digits. That was 3 or 4 days. Other than that, I'm telling you guys, it's not been bad at all. We have some cold weather, you have some warm weather, and that's great. I don't like winter, so that's great. But on the other side of that, it's tough on your bees, because if you remember, each one of these we had plenty of sugar, syrup, and honey in here. We give them each a medium here that was chock plumb full. I mean full, busting at the seams, full of honey and sugar syrup. If you remember, we did the mountain camp method on top. I haven't been back in here since October. I come up every week and I check them. Some days it's warm enough, they'll be flying. As you can see, they're flying good today. I think that all 4 colonies are alive. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to find out today. I think they're all alive, but I worry about them this time of year, and that's something that I wanted to mention to you. When you get down here February and March, that's when a lot of people lose their bees, because, like I said, we've not had much of a winter. We've had a pretty mild winter. We've had a lot of mild days, and these bees, they flew pretty much all year. They really have, and very few days they've been clustered up. And when they do that, we know what that causes. That causes them to burn energy, and then they've got to feed. And if you're not careful and you don't get in and check them this time of year, they'll eat all the food, and you'll run out of feed, and then you got dead bees. Now, today I done got everything unstrapped. I went ahead and took that insulation off. If you remember, I just had some pieces on the side as a windbreak. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that off. Right now, the way the sun's hitting in here, they're getting good sun, so I think they'll be fine. Now, we are supposed to get some cold weather coming up. It's like I told you guys, it's not really the cold is not what kills your bees, it's the moisture. So I want to get in here today, just roughly, I want to get in here quick. I just want to pop the top. I went to Hive Alive, if you've seen that video, and I bought a few things. I bought a box, and it seems like this is the going thing now. The Hive Alive Fondant patties. I bought a case of them, had 6 in it. I just need 4, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get in each one of these, just mainly to see if they're alive, and then I'm gonna check to see how much sugar they still have on the top, and I'm gonna give each one of them a fondant patty today. Here, about March, first part of March, we should start seeing the red maple and some other trees starting to bud out and bloom. So about March, they'll start bringing in pollen. Another thing I will say, the pollen supplement back here, I'm out. I've got another can in the truck. I'm going to have to replenish that today. They have wore it out. They've eaten it all. So I'm going to go ahead and replenish that today. But just want to get in here today and just make sure they're okay. Give them a fondant patty. If I can get them in there to March, about March 1st, so somewhere in that area, I'll come up. We'll take this bottom board out from behind them. I'll get all of them down level. I'll go ahead probably and take the insulation off. May leave it in there till middle of March on the top, just to see how the weather looks, see how everything's going. Usually in March, I give them a pollen patty. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year or not. Let me tell you why. Last year, I made my own pollen patties, and Oh, it worked. Man, they started brooding up, and that was the problem. I couldn't get them to quit brooding, and I couldn't keep them in the box. Man, they swarmed all over the place down there last year. So I'm kind of still on the fence about a pollen patty. I've got some in the freezer. I got some, actually some free Hive Alive pollen patties when I bought that case at Hive Alive. So if I do, I will just give them a little piece. I'm not going to give them a full patty or not even a half a patty, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to have bees sticking in all these trees right here, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to pop it open, put the fondant on them. We'll see if they're alive. I'll get the camera. I'll show you each hive. Even going to do the long hive over there the same way. And then I'm going to shut the video off, and then I'll come back on. Now what I'm going to do after that, I'm going to give them all an oxalic acid treatment here this afternoon. It's a beautiful day. They're flying. They're not clustered up real tight. I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do it for a month, but with the way I work, I get off on the weekends, and for whatever reason, every weekend has either been tied up with something or the weather has been horrendous and they're not flying at all. So today I've got a chance to do it. I'm going to do it. It may just be a one and done thing until spring, but it can't hurt them. I know that they have a low mite count going into winter. They should be fine, but a little extra insurance is not going to hurt anything. So I'm going to give them a shot today. If it's pretty next weekend, I may give them another dose next weekend. So let's get in here. Let's see what we got. And I'm kind of anxious. I've not been in bees, like I say, since October. So kind of anxious to see, kind of get that smell. And that will light me up. I don't know, but we'll find out here. But we'll see what happens. I think they are all alive. I do, but time will tell, I guess. Now, just looking at this lid, maybe just a touch of moisture. But if you notice, that was out on the front, so don't look bad at all. Now, we'll see what we got. I'm kind of anxious to see how much of this they've eaten. We'll put a little smoke on them, see how they do. And I'll come over and I'll get the camera. We'll see what we got. Boy, they've got her, really got her glued down tight. That's good. So, see what we got here, guys. Give them a little puff. Well, let me tell you what, brother. Have they eaten any sugar? Let's look and see. Let me show you something, guys. Have they eaten sugar? You tell me. Look here. They've eaten it all. I had a whole bag of sugar on there. They have eaten every last drop. So, whew, I am glad we are doing what we're doing today. So, let me see if you can see me here. Yeah, I'm glad we're doing what we're doing, because these girls, no doubt, would have starved on me. So I don't know how long these fondants will work, but we're going to see what we got now. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to raise up on the back of it. Oh, you know what though? They beat that sugar, but man, that thing is still really heavy. So they definitely still have some food there. They've got all that honey. But we'll go ahead. I'm just going to cut a pretty good hole here around this. They say just cut the emblem out, but I'm going to go a little bit bigger. And we'll put this right here. And good looking bees. Look out, ladies. We'll give you that pollen patty. And we'll just go from there. Alright, so we know that they're going to be okay now. And we will put that to the front. We'll go ahead. Maybe in a couple weeks, what I may do is I'll come back up here. Maybe I'll make some sugar bricks, maybe a little sugar brick on each one, and go ahead and put it on there to get them through. Boy, I'm glad we did this when we did. So there's hive number 1. Let's look at hive number 2. See what we got. Well, they sure did eat all that sugar. That surprises me. But they left the honey. That's odd. Okay. So let's see what we got here, guys. What's behind door number 2? We shall see. Hopefully these girls are alive as well. We will see. Let's see, no moisture. Okay. Oh, we got a good little cluster of bees, and guess what, guys? All of that sugar is gone as well. A little bit of that's gone as well. Ain't that something? So let's get us another pad here. Hey, I'm glad we did this when we did. Could have been bad, guys. I'll show you here in just a minute. I'll show you what we got here, guys. Good thing we did this. Now, let's fill this, please. This one here is not as heavy. This hive's not as heavy, so these little girls here are going to need a little more. Let me show you. So here's hive number 2 here. Look, they've eaten all their sugar. Bees look good. Man, I am so glad we did this, but I'm going to put this camera right here. We'll, yeah, you said, well, definitely had to make them some sugar bricks and get it on there. So let's give them this patty. That'll see them through for a little bit. That's great. Okay. So there's that. Well, they sure have been hitting that sugar hard. Not a drop. Okay, so we can get this lid squeezed back on. That lid's on. Alright, guys. Go over here and see what we got in this one. See what we got in this one. Okay. That middle one is really, really light. So, you need to remember that. Middle one is really, really light. Oh, we've got plenty of bees here. And guess what, guys? No sugar again. Let's feel the weight. Not as heavy as the first one. Not as light as the second one. So definitely a good thing we check them. Bees look good. Let me get the camera and show you that one. So we're definitely going to have to do something a little different here. So you see here, they've eat all the sugar. All the sugar is gone. Bees look good. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so hang on. We'll give them a fondant as well. Yeah, man. I never dreamed that they would eat all that sugar that quick. They sure did. Definitely had to make them some sugar bricks. Put too much time, money, and effort into these girls to let them fool around and starve to death. So we don't want to do that. Alright, so there's that one. There's a fondant patty. Let's lay him right up here. Just right in the center. So we'll see what we got there. Okay. So I think that'll last a couple weeks, I hope. And then we'll go from there. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and I will make us up some sugar bricks in the oven for emergency, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So there's that one. Okay, so heavy, medium, well, heavy, medium, light. So okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over, I'm going to shut the camera off real quick. We'll go down, we'll check the long hive. And then after I check the long hive, we'll button everything up here, strap everything back down, and then we'll do a treatment on them, and we'll go from there. So just hang on, guys. I'm gonna shut the camera off for just a second. All right, guys. So we're back, and we'll go over here. We'll get in this long hive. We'll see if they beat their sugar. I'm willing to bet they have. It really surprises me. But on this one, guys, if you remember, well, you probably haven't got there yet. But what we got some sugar on top here, and they had all kinds of honey. They probably had 10 or 12 full honey frames. So we'll get in here, we'll see what we got. Got a little dab of moisture here, looks like. But tell you what, we got some bees there. So they are still alive. Doesn't really look like they've eaten maybe a little bit. We'll go ahead and we'll cut this. We'll put that fondant back on here. See what we got. Cluster looks like it's over here mostly. They look good. They look pretty good, healthy. So I know they had a lot of honey, so that's probably why they've not got their sugar all ate. But we'll go ahead and we'll give them one. Let me show you what they look like. You can see here, they still got all their sugar. Looks like the cluster is over on this side. Good looking bees. See several frames of bees there. So I don't know, we'll see. I will go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and give them a fondant patty as well, because you never know. But what we'll do is we need to make us some sugar bricks and bring up for emergency feed. We need to make that happen within the next 2 weeks, I would think, if not sooner. It looks like maybe next weekend might be pretty chilly, so I don't know, but I wouldn't care a bit to pop that open. Hey girls, let me get you a fondant patty on here. Scrape some of that burr comb off. They like the burr comb on this thing, that's for sure. Alright, so we'll just cut this down, see what we got. There's that. Okay. Let's go from there, see what we got. Ladies, excuse me. Excuse me, ladies. Right there's that. There's it. Okay. So we're good. We are good, guys. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut the camera off. We'll go ahead and we'll treat. Let's stick it up a little bit. Don't hurt nothing. We'll go ahead and treat with oxalic acid and get everything strapped back down. And then we'll just go from there. I'll turn the camera back on after we get done treating. I want to talk to you guys, and we want to talk about 2023, some plans we got for this year. So stick with us, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys, so we are back, and let me tell you what we did here. Now, you remember now we got in here, we checked them all. Beyond my wildest dreams did I think there'd be no sugar on there, but they have absolutely wore the sugar out for some reason. So had 0 on all 3 of these. The long hive, they had barely touched it. Now, why is that? I don't know. I don't know. But listen, the good news is we caught them just in a nick of time. So we got that fondant on there. That'll last them a week or 2. I'm gonna make some sugar bricks, probably this. I've never made a sugar brick. If you have a recipe, let me know in a comment. I've never done that. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll make some. We'll put on here on each one of these. I just need them to get through about another month and a half, and we should be okay. But boy, am I ever so glad that we got in there today. But the bees look good. They did. They look good. Good clusters. They look good. So we'll see what happens now. While I had the camera shut off, let me tell you, I went ahead and I give each one of them, all 4, a really healthy dose of oxalic acid. So that should help them. Depending on the weather, next weekend I may do the same thing again. But I don't think that the weather is going to cooperate. It looks like it's going to really turn off cold towards the end of the week and maybe get some snow. So we'll have to wait and see. So guys, listen, let's talk just a second. And I want to talk about 2023. You remember last year was all geared towards a beginner beekeeper. Now, I'm going into 2023. I have some goals. And let me tell you, if you're a beekeeper, you should have goals. Goals is what keeps you going. So I want to concentrate on 3 areas. First thing is swarm prevention. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm terrible at it. Last year, man, I really struggled. That's why I told you, I put that pollen patty on these girls and they brooded up, and I could not keep them in the box. They was going crazy down there at my house. And I don't want them hanging everywhere here, but I'm afraid it must be what's going to happen. So I'm going to have to think about the pollen patty, see what happens. Now, that's number 1 goal, is swarm prevention. If we can get that through the spring. The second thing that I want to really concentrate on this year is something I really need, and that's comb building. I want to build plenty of comb for my honey next year. And the third thing, and probably one of the most important things, is I want to concentrate on some utility bees. I want to get me some nukes over here, and I'm going to start on this here in the next couple weeks. I want to have me another stand of colonies, 10-frame colonies right here. And then I want a stand of nothing but 5-frame nukes, doubles. And so I want to use those, you know, if I need a queen, that way I'll have a queen. If I need resources I can steal. I would like to use maybe a couple of the hives of those resource nukes just for comb building. Maybe keep some sugar water on them all year and just let them build comb and keep spinning it out. But want to concentrate on that. But that's my 3 main objectives for this year. Coming up, you know, one thing I may try, I may take this hive right here, this colony. I may do a damari. I don't know if that's how you say it, but a damari split. I've been watching a lot of videos and stuff on that. Kind of fascinating. That is a good way of swarm prevention. I may do mine a little different, because I will rob some of those cells that they'll build in that top box to make splits. This is a real good queen in here. I don't know how old she is, and that's another thing. This queen here and the queen that we followed last year, I don't know the age of those queens. That's the queens that we caught in the swarm. So I'm going to try to re-queen every other year. I know this number 4 box and the long hive, they both have this year's queens in them, so or last year's 22 queens. So probably looking at requeening these 2 on the ends. And like I say, going forward, I'm going to try my best to do it every other year. I know a lot of people do it every year, but I can't do that. So I'm just going to, I think every other year you still get a lot of production from her, and we'll see what happens. But guys, that's about it for today. It's starting to cool down a little bit here now. The bees, I heard them roaring really good on that oxalic acid, so it definitely got to them, I know. So hopefully that'll give them a little boost on the mites. So guys, listen, watch for some more videos. If you've been watching the long hive videos, thank you. We got about 3 more of those coming out, 3 or 4 more. I think 4 more. And some things happen in there you may want to watch. It's pretty good. Some things does happen. So guys, I just want to say thank you. You know, you've stuck with me here through this winter lull, and I appreciate it. You know, I met a lot of people at Hive Life. I really boosted my subscriber count when I posted that video from Hive Life. met a lot of these people that I watch, and it really meant a lot to me, and I appreciate them taking time to talk to me and answering some questions that I had. So guys, that's about it for today. We'll get back in here in a couple weeks and try to put a sugar brick on each one of these. If you got a recipe, please leave me a comment, let me know how you do yours. We're gonna have to do something because I don't know how long that fondant will work, so I'll probably get a couple weeks off of it, so we'll see. But guys, I appreciate you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you are well, I hope your family's well, and I hope you've had a good winter, and I hope just everything is going in your direction. So guys, thanks once again, and until next time, this is Tim, the Boone County Beekeeper. Thanks for stopping by, guys.